The first half, I made the comment that I thought the first half couldn't have went much worse. Part of me saying that is kind of trying to understand setting and the fact that they were playing Western Michigan, right? Context is important in this discussion. But they did give up 10 points in the first half. You're right, Trent. Shut them out in the second half. And they got to clean up those explosive plays. But in a way, Don, is it you don't want to see those holes. But right before Big Ten play, if you get a game like this against Western and you shut them out 59-0 and the offense is great and the defense is fabulous, what do you work on? I mean, isn't it almost nice to get exposed a little bit before we head to Big Ten play?
Well, you're right about one thing. I can promise you if Penn State doesn't try to duplicate some of the things that Western Michigan did today, I'll be a little bit surprised. We always assumed if something worked one weekend, you're going to get tested on that same concept 1 week later. And you better have it corrected. Sort of have it cost you one game is one thing. The crime, though, is to let someone turn around and do it to you the next week as well. So I'm sure that Phil Parker's going to be sure that we're not victimized the way we were today. And he'll, of course, know exactly what our problem was, and he'll be able to solve it. And that doesn't guarantee it won't happen again, but it all but guarantees that it won't, because at least our players are vividly aware of what our shortcoming was, and they're going to take steps to correct it.
And it was good to get Jermari Harris back out there before we head into the gauntlet of the schedule. And I say gauntlet, it's gauntlet relative to what they've started with. He needed this game to beat off some rust. Like I say, he didn't just miss 2 games due to suspension. He missed a whole season due to injury last year. So that, there's some lumps that I think Iowa took there as well. Always good to be 3-0 heading out of conference play. No guarantees. Iowa lost to Iowa State last year. They nearly lost to South Dakota State. There have been, 2016, they lose to North Dakota State. So they took care of business. And by the way, you could argue in flying colors. I mean, there were kind of the lumps that they took, but Iowa controlled the game. They were up 20-3 late on Iowa State. Iowa State made a late push. They won by double digits against Utah State, and they won by 31 today. So if you're looking at the bright side of things, Iowa's done what it's needed to do.
Yeah, I made a comment during the week. I said one of our goals simply should be to feel better about our football team after today's game than we did 4 hours earlier. And I think we probably do feel a little bit better about our team before the game versus after the game. I think some of our questions have been answered. I will admit we feel a little better for sure about how we run the football, maybe a little more concerns about can we consistently throw and consistently protect, and can we eliminate. We're just so used to not giving up any chunk plays on defense. So it's kind of a shock to our system when one happens. But to our credit, at least it produced the only touchdown of the day for them. And we were lucky that one got called back too, of course. I don't know what happened on that play. You mentioned that our corner just fell down.
Yeah, and it was an ineligible man downfield, wasn't it?
Yeah. Now, I don't know. I'd be curious what the replay showed, Corey. 2 ways to have an ineligible man downfield. One way, of course, is for one of those linemen to be downfield when the ball is thrown. The other way is simply for an outside receiver to inadvertently cover up an inside receiver. And you know what I mean when I say cover up? It means they're both on the ball.
Right.
And obviously, if they're both on the ball, you can do that. But obviously, the inside receiver cannot go downfield at that point. Frankly, that happens more often than a lineman getting flagged for being downfield.